Ladies and gentlemen, for the second time in my life, I am being pushed to the brink of my sanity because of a mysterious noise in my house. This time, whenever I go to record electric guitars, there is a steady clicking sound coming out of my amp. Let me show you. My amp's on standby right now. This is what it sounds like when I turn it on. It may not seem overly drastic, but as a guy who spends a fair bit of time recording electric guitar, you can't be having that. I don't know if there's a ghost that's haunting me who thinks that I need to practice with a metronome more, or if maybe Bill Gates is trying to communicate with me through a 5G tower or something. I don't know, but I intend to get to the bottom of this. Before I start this quest though, a quick note, I've got a sale going on over at my course platform, samuraiguitartheory.com. If you use promo code HOLIDAY20 on the 2-course bundle, you'll not only get both of my 2 theory courses for the normal price of 1, but you will also get my brand new course, Pentatonic Mastery, included for free. These courses teach the system I use for making music. They're professionally animated, they have interactive elements, and by buying them, you will help fund whatever professional help I will need if I can't solve this f***ing clicking noise on my own. Again, use promo code HOLIDAY20 on the 2-course bundle and you'll get all 3 of my courses for the normal price of 1. I'll put up links for that in the description as well. Anyways, let's solve this mystery. So I only just noticed this because we just moved into this house and today was the first time that I went to record guitar parts. I cannot work under these conditions. The problem also gets significantly worse if I introduce some distortion to my sound. The obvious thing to do is swap out gear. I tried different guitars, different amps, different cables. I can say for certain that this clicking sound is not coming from any of this stuff. I did some Googling and read about people who've had similar issues caused by their wristwatches. Clearly, that's not the case here. I've also read that cell phones can cause this type of interference. I'm very, very familiar with the sound of cell phone interference, and it doesn't sound like that. But either way, I turned off my phone to see if the problem would disappear, and no, it did not. I've really done all that I can think to do. I am not a tech guy. I know very little about electricity or matters like that. However, my dear friend, producer Adam, has run a studio for years. He's the guy who I usually go to in times like these. So I'm gonna give him a call, explain the situation, and see what he has to say. Okay, Adam, I've got you on speaker. Can you tell the good people of YouTube what you just told me?
Yeah, sometimes appliances, if they're in the same circuit that your amp is on, I would imagine that could dirty up the power and cause different types of interference and potentially sounds out of your speaker. Okay,
that is great information. What would you say my next step should be?
Maybe try unplugging some of the appliances.
All right, well, we have a course of action here. I'm gonna go around the house, unplugging appliances, and then I'm gonna plug in this little rev amp here, put my headphones in, turn it on, and see if the clicking sound went away. Don't you worry, I've written a song to accompany the experience.
There's a clicking and a ticking sound I'm dealing with, and I'm gonna lose my marbles if I can't get to the bottom of it. So I'm turning off the fish tank, powering down the stove, pulling the plug on anything that draws power in my home. Ooh-wee, what could it be?
So I was about to start pulling my fridge out when I realized that that was a very inefficient process. I can make this a lot easier on myself if I just turn off all the power in my house by flicking these breakers here. The only thing I'll leave turned on is this one plug here, which my amp is plugged into. If we continue to hear the clicking after I've shut everything down, then that means the problem is external, which changes things substantially. So it's coming from outside. I'm gonna need to turn the power back on, go back to the studio, and have a think on this. Here's my new theory. And again, what do I know? But I think there's some sort of signal that's coming into my house and my guitar is acting as an antenna for it, and then it's being amplified by my amp. I say this because if you unplug the guitar, the sound goes away, but if I touch the end of my cable, then I guess it like completes the circuit or something and starts picking up that signal again. I think what I need to do now is call my dad, who knows basically everything there is to know about everything under the tech umbrella. Let's see what he says. Okay, Dad, you're on speaker. Can you repeat what you just told me, please?
There's electromagnetic interference in the air normally, and the pickups from the guitar can act as an antenna, pick that interference up, and it gets amplified to your amplifier. To reduce this interference, you can shield the guitar by placing the musician and the guitar in a metal enclosure. This electromagnetic interference is absorbed by the magnetic enclosure and shunted to ground.
All right. Well, that's great information.
Did you record it?
Yeah, I did. You did it in one take.
Holy mackerel. One take. Okay.
Okay, bye. It would seem that I need to aluminum foil my life. I think this is the most stereotypically crazy thing I've ever done on this channel, but you gotta do what you gotta do for those clean guitar sounds. So theoretically, I'm gonna be shielded by this tinfoil that's covering me and my guitar. This cable that's touching my leg here is running into our furnace room and touching the grounding pipe. So I think this should work. We'll see. Moment of truth here. Jenny, could you flick the amp on, please? I mean, I think it's quieter, but I don't know that this is the most practical solution in the world. I'm gonna sleep on this, see what I can come up with tomorrow. I woke up in the middle of the night last night with what I would consider a fairly brilliant idea. What I'm gonna do is take my battery-powered amp here, which, by the way, still picks up the clicking sound, and I'm gonna go walk around my neighborhood and see if I can locate the source of the click. The closer I get to whatever's generating the interference, the louder it should sound in this, so I should be able to track it down. Let's go. How loud that is. So clearly, this big green box of doom is the source of the clicking problem. My first thought was to call one of my friends from the country to bring a shotgun so we can shoot this thing, but I don't think that's the most socially responsible thing. So instead, we're going to call the electric company and see what they have to say.
Technical support, how can I help you?
Well, your big green box in my neighbor's yard is having a very detrimental effect on my life. Okay, buckle up. This is going to take some explaining. And so, given my profession, it would be very, very appreciated if you guys could find a way to make that sound from the transformer box go away.
All right, we'll send someone out to look at it in the next couple days.
Well, well, well. Would you look at this? The electric guy showed up today. I'm going to go talk to him. I think this saga is finally coming to an end. Jenny informed me that she saw the electric guys outside earlier this morning. Apparently they were working it pretty hard. If the click isn't resolved at this point, I'm not sure it ever will be. I think the only thing to do now is give it a test, see how she goes. I'm a little bit nervous. You hear that? 'Cause neither do I. I feel pretty happy about this outcome. I think it's safe to say that if it weren't for my audio engineering skills, that issue with the transformer probably never would have been discovered. And I mean, who knows? It could have got worse and worse, causing citywide blackouts, maybe even electric fires. So, in a way, old Sammy G kind of saved the day. All right, let's wrap this up. Guys, remember that for this month only, you can get all 3 of my guitar courses for the normal price of 1 if you use promo code HOLIDAY20 over at samuraiguitartheory.com. If there are any final words of wisdom that I can share, they would be, before you buy a house, make sure you go and set up a guitar amp in it and see if there are any unexpected noises. On top of that, go underneath the stove and see if there are mouse droppings, because that is something I discovered the other day, and that is now next on the list of things to deal with.
The problem was a transformer, but now the click is gone. Some might call me a hero, and you know, by golly, they wouldn't be wrong. Oh my, like and subscribe.